winter wheat will be ripe from north to China's south. And Zhongwang Township is the southernmost town in Jinghai district of Tianjin. And if the wheat here is ripe, that means the harvest season is on. And this is also the earliest town with winter wheat. Take a look at these 4 giant agro machines behind me, and they are able to sow the seeds and also harvest the winter wheat. They look drastically different, and they're designed for different purposes. I have with me Mr. Yuan, who is from the Agro Development Center of Jinghai Town of Tianjin. He will tell us more. Good morning. He has a colleague who is a technical personnel, and they're gonna show us these machines. So tell us, what are these machines for? Well, this is the harvest season. This one is for harvest, and we also have a machine that is for sowing of seeding, and we can also spray fertilizers and maintain the operation of the farmland. So it's a very important tool that we use. And so this one has a very large capacity in terms of operational efficiency. And you can see that this is the driver's console, and it's very comfortable for the driver as well. Very good user experience. And after the operation, we have a grinding module, which is able to cut and slice the straws and then spread them on the farm. So it can cut them into very tiny, small slices and spread them on a farm after the harvest work is done. Tell us about this machine. So this one can handle 2 operations. For some of the farms, after the harvest, they need to plow the land. And if you need to plow the land, you just need to lower this part of the machine, and it will plow the land. And normally, you can choose either model that you want. And take a look at this model. This is simply to flatten the land. So after the wheat is harvested, you can slice the straws of the wheat, and it can easily rot in the farmland. But this one is very interesting. I can see that we have a row of little boxes here. So what is this for? So when this machine is sowing the seeds, it can also carry fertilizers. And take a look at this giant cylinder up there. This is for fertilizer, and these little boxes, they are for sowing the seeds. And this is automatic. And this can also save a lot of seeds, and it saves also the fertilizer. It doesn't give you any waste. And it's automatic. For this row, they know exactly how many seeds to be sowed on the ground, and you can also adjust the distance between different rows. And this is the update of the technology, and it's constantly evolving. We can automatically adjust the distance between different rows just to allow for better growth of the plants. And this is a drone, I can tell. In the past, when we spray pesticide, we have to do that manually. But right now, we can do that from above in the air by using this kind of drones, so it's a lot safer and a lot more efficient. So we don't need to get our hands on the pesticides, so it's also very safe. To our knowledge, drones are normally used for aerial footage shooting, and this one is used in agriculture. Yes, it can also spray fertilizers, and it can give us a lot of guidance by providing some aerial footages. And tell us about these agro machines and what are the technological advancements over the years. Well, I can tell you they are having greater capacity by the year and greater efficiency and decreased error rate. They play a significant role in improving the grain output and in stabilizing food supply. And during the seeding season, it can save a lot of seed and energy, and it can allow for the maximum photosynthesis effect. So it can also save a lot of labor and allow for the maximum of photosynthesis effect. All right, thank you very much to both of you. And we know that the seeds, they're just like the microchips of farmers. And selecting seed can be crucial to your grain inputs. And you can see some of the most typical seeds that we sow here in Tianjin. And I have a gentleman who can tell us more about the seedings. Say hello to our viewers. Hi, my name is Xinjian. I'm from the Seeding Service Center of Jinghai District of Tianjin. So these are the seeds normally used in Tianjin. So tell us more about these types of seeds. Well, you can see that we have winter wheat and half winter wheat. And for winter wheat, you need to store that with low temperature storage. And because it's used in winter for winter farming, and so this is the half winter seed. It's not quite prone to low temperature. It can be much widely applied in larger parts of the country. And we also have the enhanced type of seed, which is not so prone to temperatures. And also, it's also very good for spring seeding. I thought that you used the same seed across Tianjin, but why are you using different seeds here? Well, because within Tianjin, we are such a vast land with different climate characteristics across different regions. So you have to select the best seed for your own climate conditions. Choosing the best seed will allow for the best grain output and grain quality. So this is a graphic drawing about the distribution of wheat in Jinghai District. And tell us more about that. So this is the distribution of wheat in Jinghai District. The yellow boxes are all wheat. We are right now at Zhongwang Township. It's located at the southernmost of the town. It has alkaline land, so it goes very well with Tangmai 002 and Jimai 003. So these are two types of seeds. two types of seeds with a very stable productivity. If you move to the central part of the township, of the district, it has much more fertile land with a lower level of alkaline, so it can support GMI 22, which can ensure a much higher grain output. So for every mu of land, it can produce 500 to 600 kilos of wheat if you choose a particular type of seed. And take a look at the northern part of the district. It has even lower level of alkaline, so it can support Liangxing 99 and GMI 22, so it can reach relatively higher productivity. So put simply, you have to decide the seeds according to the area that you're talking about. So for wheat, how do we judge whether the wheat has ripened? So take a look at the stem. And you can see that the color changes from green into yellow, and when it is fully mature and ripe, it should be yellow all over. And you can also peel the seed and check its color. You can rub it and cut it with your fingernail. And if it's very hard, that means it's ripe. So show us the ones that are not mature. Well, it depends on what time of the year you're talking about. And when you come here much earlier, you wouldn't be able to knob it. So if you squeeze it with your fingers, then you will see this yellow fluid coming out of the seed. And this one, for example, is already ripe. You wouldn't leave a fingernail print on it, so that means it's ready for harvest. So we are actually having a race with time, and after harvest of this week, and what planting plans do you have? We are growing wheat and corns throughout the year, so that means we have 2 harvests throughout the year, and this allows for maximum use of the land resources and also greater income of the farmers. So put simply, we cannot allow the land to sit idle, and it has to be leveraged to its utmost. All right, so we have learned so much about the knowledge of seeds and about this area of Tianjin. Over the years, China's grain output has been constantly on the rise, and it's very crucial during the harvest season because we have to reduce the damages and losses. And we have Director Bo Keming, who can tell us more about how we avoid losses in the harvest season. Say hello to our viewers and introduce yourself. Good morning, all the viewers. I come from Tianjin Agro Machine and Experimental Center. I'm the director of the center, and it's a great pleasure having this opportunity to show you what is happening here. And you saw a little bit of our agri machines. And taking this opportunity, I would like to correct one mistake that everybody is making. So there are losses actually in every process. And we do not just save losses during the harvest season. We also do that throughout all the other stages. By using machinery in our farm work, we have a greater opportunity to further reduce the losses. And right now, the loss rate is between 3.5 to 4%, with more machineries leveraged in this process, and with also the raising awareness of farmers and those mechanical operators, we can further reduce the loss rate. By further improving our technology, the loss can be further reduced to its minimum. As was mentioned earlier, the purpose of this process is, of course, to increase the yield of the farmland and also to increase the income of our farmers. So what is the best way of reducing losses? Number one, you need to grasp the harvest season. And take a look at this machine behind me and take a look at the dust. You cannot go too early or too late. And if you come here a couple of days later, then you will have greater losses. And if you harvest much earlier, you would also have greater losses. So that is why we have to be perfect in timing. Set the time and ensure the harvest. Also, you need to have very reliable agro machines in terms of performance. And take a look at this one. The operator is also very experienced and skilled. So this comes to the second point I will make, which is to use a very reliable and very advanced machines and phase out the old ones. And number three, you need to be very skilled in operating the machine. And you can see the dust and the wind. Each and every year before the harvest, we organize multiple rounds of workshops and trainings so that they get to know what skills are needed and how best to reduce the losses. And you know that the harvest season is actually very short. It's only 20 days out of 365 days of the year. So they don't have much opportunity to get on the machine and get familiarized with operating the machine. So it's only within several days that they get trained and they get re-familiarized with the operation of the machine. And it's very crucial for reducing the loss of harvest. So are there any specific specs for the speed and angles of the machine? Yes, during the harvest, you need to ensure high quality and efficiency so as to ensure low damages and low losses. Speed is, of course, very important. Between speed and the loss rate, you need to reduce the speed so as to reduce the loss rate. And we request that the speed cannot go beyond 8 kilometers per hour, and that is a very critical threshold. And if you go over that, you will have a larger loss rate. So you also need to ensure efficiency. We also have a methodology that is called 90% harvest. That means that you need to harvest at least 90% of the farmland, and you don't drive over the wheatland randomly. Well, take a look at this one. This is fully harvested and it's very good. So that means that 90% of the wheat is preserved and protected. And if you squeeze them with your wheels on the ground, and then they are a waste. Take a look at how clean the farmland is after the harvest. So do you have a target for the loss rate? The requirement is to contain that to below 2%, and that is the ideal that we are seeking. All right, we got to know a little bit about the agro machines and also their methodologies in reducing the damage and loss rate. In our program today, we showed you the scene of harvest for winter wheat in Tianjin, and you know what are the typical seeds used in Tianjin and what is the methodology and logic in selecting the seed. So it's a tiny little seed, but it can truly make a difference for food safety and security. And damage control and loss rate reduction are crucial. On the other hand, our technology is getting better. All right, this is all to today's program. Again, I'm Tao Jizhe. See you next time.